5 biblical books with unknown authors. Did you know that several books of the Bible were written by people whose names were never revealed? For centuries, scholars and believers have wondered, who were they? Hidden behind sacred words are anonymous voices, prophets, poets, and scribes whose hands shaped divine history, yet whose names remain lost to time. The Bible is a library of 66 books, written over 1,500 years by more than 40 authors. From ancient Israel's desert scrolls to early Christian letters, these 5 texts carry timeless truths, even without a signature. 5. The Book of Judges, written around 1050 to 1000 BC. Judges tells the story of Israel's chaotic years after Joshua, when there was no king in Israel and everyone did what was right in their own eyes, as recorded in Judges 21 verse 25. Traditionally, the prophet Samuel has been suggested as its author, since he lived near the end of that period. But the book itself gives no clue, no name, no signature, no author's voice. It even describes events that happened after Samuel's lifetime, which makes his authorship unlikely. So, while many once credited him, today most agree the author of Judges is unknown. For the Book of Ruth. The Book of Ruth is set in the days when the judges ruled as recorded in Ruth 1 verse 1, but it was likely written later, maybe between 1010 and 970 BC, during or after King David's rise. Some early traditions again pointed to Samuel because of his historical connection. Yet, the closing verses mention David by name, and we know Ruth is the great-grandmother of David, meaning it had to be written after David became known. And at that time, Samuel was already dead. That makes Ruth another timeless story, beautifully written, but by an unknown storyteller who left no name behind. 3. The Book of Job. Job might be one of the oldest writings in the Bible, possibly from around 1900 to 1500 BC, long before Moses. The book never tells us who wrote it, and the style doesn't match any known writer. Some thought Moses wrote it while in Midian, since Job's land, Uz, was nearby. Others believe it was penned by an ancient poet or sage who heard Job's story passed down for generations, but there's no proof either way. In fact, the opening line only says, "There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job." Job 1 verse 1. Nothing about who recorded his story, making its author a mystery. 2. The Book of Esther. This book is set during the Persian Empire, around 480 to 470 BC. The Book of Esther tells how a Jewish queen saved her people. It reads like a royal chronicle, detailed, precise, and almost political. Jewish tradition sometimes linked it to Mordecai, one of the story's main figures, but the book never says he wrote it, and the third-person narrative Mordecai did this suggests otherwise. Some also propose Ezra or Nehemiah, but again, no direct evidence. Esther remains an anonymous masterpiece, recording a real deliverance by an unknown hand. 1. The Book of Hebrews. Written around AD 60 to 70, Hebrews stands out in the New Testament for its mysterious authorship. For centuries, many believed Paul wrote it, mainly because of its deep theology. But unlike Paul's letters, Hebrews has no greeting, no name, and a very different writing style. Even early church fathers like Origen admitted, "Who wrote the epistle, God only knows." That sums it up perfectly. Though it fits beautifully into the New Testament, no one truly knows who wrote Hebrews. 5 incredible books whose writers stepped back into the shadows, leaving their words to shine forever. Subscribe to see other fascinating Bible mysteries.